Don't forget Ice Cube tomorrow at 4:30. The legendary rapper and owner of the Big Three basketball, huge Raider fan, huge NFL fan. Um, Outstanding. Hey, by the way, real quick here. So the owner of the Carolina Panthers thinks it's cool to be a jackass and throw things at fans in the stands in Jacksonville because he can't get his way. And this is the prime example of what I talk about with these owners. Remember something. When you're a billionaire, sharks don't swim with guppies. They eat them. Okay? They're not there to make friends with guppies. They swim to eat guppies. They're going to tell you what you want to hear and do what they want to do. Look at the NFL owners. If that was a player throwing things into the stands, or if that was a player that went after a fan, he'd be automatically suspended. Organization. Just shows you, if you don't have proper management at the top, people with patience, poise, and pride, you can't win. It really doesn't matter what the product is. Here, I'll give you a great example. Warren Buffett used to come on my program all the time during the NCAA tournament. He'll be back on again. And he has this really great event that he has with the Final Four and with the tournament, the NCAA tournament, March Madness, for all of his people in his company to play and make a lot of money doing it. And you know what I asked him? I asked him one time when he was on the show, I go, hey, man, so when you invest in a company, he goes, no. I don't invest in companies. I go, what do you mean? You don't? He goes, the widget's not the thing. I invest in people who are not able to have the resources they need to push the widget where they need to push the widget. You never invest in the horse. You invest in the jockey because the horse takes you around the track. The jockey takes you to the finish line. And I always thought that was important, especially when it applies to a sports team. That applies to a sports team. You can have all the talented players on your roster, but if you don't have the proper leader like a Mike Tomlin or like a Tony Dungy or someone of that ilk who has autonomy in the building, the great owners will do this. It's your ship, dude. I'm not going to help you sink the ship by being involved in your decision making. I want to know what you're doing because it's my company, but I'm going to let you. That's what made Jimmy Johnson the best coach on the planet. Jimmy never coached on game day. He never coached on game day. You know what he did his coaching? Monday through Saturday, talking to his coaches on Monday, getting his players ready on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That's when he did his business. He didn't give Newt Rockne speeches. You worked your ass off. And the coaches were accountable because all those coaches were his guys. Trust, respect, belief. You can't win Super Bowls from a front office. And I'll say it one more time to you. It's becoming even more evident now that Doug Peterson was completely responsible for the 17 Super Bowl championship. Completely responsible. If you have Nick Sirianni, here, let me ask you guys this question. Guys, if Nick Sirianni is the head football coach of the 2017 Philadelphia Eagles, does he win the Super Bowl? Does he win the Super Bowl? Toad's like, hell no. You're damn right. It's becoming a broken record. Because it's the same bullshit every week with this guy. Boss lies to you every week. The players have lost faith in the guy. How do you go from a 10-2 team to not believing? Keep putting me in a bad position to win. I'll show you how to quit. It makes it easier to quit when your boss puts you in a shitty position to succeed week in and week out. It becomes nauseating. Whatever, guys. And Nick, get this. 6 years ago, that's Doug. 6 minutes ago, this guy took a team to the Super Bowl. Now his ass is on the hot seat. And the point being, you fire a coach who won you a Super Bowl. And now you got a coach who lost you a Super Bowl. What's his equity? Nothing. I don't believe liars. I just don't believe liars. You know, I've never heard I've never heard Nick say one disparaging word towards a player. Why is that? Because it would be a reflection of ripping Howie. Because those are his guys. Remember, everyone's his guy. That's why no one rips no one. That's why A.J. Brown is mute. A.J. Brown's mute because he has to be. There's a gag order. When you rip one, you rip that guy. And when you rip that guy, you're on the Doug Peterson Greyhound. Because then he runs to his boy. Tone's right. 30 years, you're the owner of the Eagles, one Super Bowl, with all the talent that you've had in the NFC East. You double the amount of wins of all teams combined in playoffs. And the reason and the most important thing for you is to have power. Than the Lombardi Trophy. I asked a question earlier. I'll ask you this. Who have you been more disappointed with in the last 6 years? Carson Wentz's failure? Or what you're finding out about your golden boy, Nick Sirianni? Who you been more disappointed in? I'm beginning. Hate, I'm a fan of this team. No. Don't do that. Don't do that, Big Marshall. You can be a fan. You can hate this season. Don't hate the team. Hate this season. I would never hate my team for life. I would hate this year. Okay? Don't hate the team. It's counterproductive because I don't want you to hate it. I want you to despise that you were this close to winning an opportunity to get back to Las Vegas in a Super Bowl and be in that game. And instead, you self-imploded. Many companies self-implode. Ego. Here. You want to see the greatest examples of the greatest teams of all time? How about this? Do you really want to see two of the greatest organizations that self-imploded on themselves? Here, Dallas Cowboys, Jimmy Johnson. Okay, Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones. How many Super Bowls do you think they left on the table? 4 more? This will be a never-ending story? Maybe. You think Jerry and Jimmy left 4 Super Bowls on the table? How about this one? I always go back, and one of the greatest teams of all time, that Jordan Bulls team that won those championships and those 6 titles in 8 years. Okay? Do you not agree that ego broke that up too? Remember something. The Bulls were never beaten on the court. That Bulls Jordan team was taken apart because of ego of Krause and Reinsdorf and Jordan and Jackson. They were never beaten. That thing fell apart because they went apart. Everyone wanted their piece of history. It ripped that thing apart. That's ego. How many championships do you think Jordan and the Bulls left on the table? 2 more? That's why I give the Patriots a lot of love for how they kept that thing together, because you know what you had? Bob Kraft is such a great owner. He is a fabulous pro football owner. He only gets in the way or gets in the middle when needed. He's not in the middle just to be in the middle. You got to remember something. Before Belichick even showed up, he did take a team to the Super Bowl with Parcells. They got beat by the Packers. But he did turn that thing around by taking the team over from Victor Kayam. Laurie picked Howie over Doug. Laurie needs to fix it. Correct. But he won't. He wants his kid to run the team. Actually, I would be surprised if the heir apparent to Howie Roseman is Jeffrey Lurie's kid. They're grooming him for that. He's going to be the next general manager. Like Stephen Jones. Stephen's actually doing a pretty decent job. He talked him off the ledge on taking Johnny Manziel. Okay? Oh, and you guys have a game this weekend. The game's irrelevant because you're battling yourselves now. Your opponent's not the issue anymore, especially when you're talking shitty teams like the Cardinals, the Seahawks, the Giants. That's irrelevant now. It's irrelevant. You're fighting yourselves. You're not. The Giants are the lesser of the opponent from within. I want to show you how the national media now looks at you. It's quite pathetic. This is how Fox has you now. You know, Fox doesn't even have you as a top 10 team. Here, this ain't me talking. This is Fox. Ravens 1. 49ers 2. Bills 3. Lions 4. Cowboys 5. Rams 6. Shit, you've beaten half these teams. Where are you? Browns 7. Where are the Eagles? Chiefs 8. Beat them. Texans 9. Dolphins 10. Where are the Eagles? How many of these teams have you beaten? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Half of Fox Sports' top 10 NFL teams heading into week 18. You've beaten, and you ain't on it. What? Here. Shit, I gave you more respect. I got the Rams 10. I got the Chiefs 9. I got the Dolphins 8. I got the Browns 7. I got the Eagles 6. I got the Lions 5. The Cowboys 4. The Bills 3. The Niners 2. And the Ravens 1. Shit. I think I'm giving the Eagles too much respect here. I'm the only guy that's giving you respect. Everyone around the country thinks you're a joke. And get this. You know what? They're going like this. They're talking about, can you win a game? Not the game. The Bills are going to win this weekend, be the 2 seed in the AFC playoffs. Okay? My Super Bowl picks are looking awful good now. Cowboys and Bills. How you doing? Remember all you idiots at the beginning of the year were saying, hey, you want to take that back? No. Hey, you want to take the Jordan Davis comment back? No. Let it play out. How about all you doofuses talking about Jordan Davis? You got to put out an MIA or a missing persons or a milk carton to find out where he's been the last 5 weeks. You might want to send an SOS out or some smoke signals. Call the NovaCare Center. Have you seen this guy? How about an Amber Alert, a Silver Alert, something, a player alert, anything? Have you seen this guy? You still think you owe Jordan Davis an apology? No. No. He's a first and second down D tackle. Exactly who I said he was. I told you who Nakobe Dean was. Exactly who he was. That defense, you completely did not replace it. You can't draft corners. You can't draft edge rushers. You barely can draft wide receivers. You got 1 in 20 years. And the coaches you're picking, I mean, Nick Sirianni's more like Chip Kelly than Doug Peterson. Oh, you guys must have hated Doug at first. Doug's not conventional, backup quarterback. Andy Reid guy. Then again, you guys hated Andy Reid. Andy who? Go back and look at the headlines in the Inquirer. Andy who? They are doing the same thing to Jalen Hurts right now in his player development they did to Carson Wentz by putting ineptness around him. If I have a business or I have a player and I give somebody $50 million, I'm not putting somebody with training wheels as a coordinator around my $50 million quarterback. I do exactly what Baltimore did. I hire a quality coordinator. And guess what a quality coordinator did for Lamar Jackson? He's going to win his second MVP award by the age of 26. That's organizationally getting it right and doing it right. That's why the Ravens are superior to you. Yeah, you heard it. The Baltimore Ravens as an organization are superior to you. Superior. Death Row, thank you very much. Yes, tomorrow's my birthday. Okay. Oh, God. Via WIP, Mulata spoke on Brown and said that Brown scheduled a team outing in escape room before Sunday's loss to Arizona. WIP Mulata spoke on A.J. Brown and said that Brown scheduled a team outing at an escape room before Sunday's loss to Arizona. Brown is doing everything possible to keep the team together. I owe A.J. Brown an apology. I owe A.J. Brown an apology. Wow. A.J. Brown is calling the coaches out and the organization out. He's got more leadership than Jalen Hurts right now. That's scary. Jalen Hurts should be doing this. Okay? Jalen Hurts should be doing this. Man, come on, Jalen. Show some backbone. And I love the kid. But you got, hey, dude, I guess, hey, by the way, I guess when you make $50 million and you're the highest paid guy in the team, ruffling feathers is not something that's in the DNA of people, because I really don't hear a lot of quarterbacks around the league holding out or barking or talking shit to people, because they get their money. They're the highest paid guys. They're the biggest movie stars in America on TV, because the NFL gets the highest ratings. And you never hear these guys complaining. There's a part of me that doesn't blame them. The only way you win a escape room is if everyone in the room with you is on the same page together. It's very clever team activity. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's called leadership. I owe A.J. Brown an apology. Yes, sir. He's throwing shade at the coaches and the coaches' bosses. He's completely throwing shade on them. Completely. I have less faith now that Nick Sirianni survives this. You got players wanting to escape the bullshit at the NovaCare Center. How did that change in a month and a half? All you guys in here kissing up to Nick, walking around on your knees to Nick. How'd that change? Because you expose frauds. You expose it. Whew, man. I just don't get it. Yeah, I just don't get it. All right. I'm going to take a look at the upcoming Week 18. Let's take a timeout. Keep it International Football Show.